Well, old man Ludendorff finally kicked the bucket. Don't worry, we'll pour one out soon for him. Hello everybody, my name is YujimboXD and welcome to the channel. And as you may have guessed already, we are back with more Hearts of Iron this week. And we are once again looking at more popular mods off the Steam Workshop. So I was digging around the Steam Workshop and I wanted a more tightly focused mod this week. And I think I found one. This is Second Sengoku, or what if the Shogunate won the Boshin War? I don't know if that description is going to help you very much, because if you don't know what Sengoku means, you probably don't know what Boshin War means. But this is the basically second Japanese Civil War. The Boshin War was a war between the Shogun and the Emperor in Japan. And in our timeline, the Emperor won, but in this timeline, he didn't. So this looked like another very interesting, well fleshed out mod. And straight away, we have a very fancy UI to pick our scenarios with. So mod developers for the New Orders, specifically the tech tree guys, take note, this is very catching. I really like this UI design immediately, so get this guy to do it for you. He knows what he's doing, apparently. We have a few scenarios to pick from. These all take place in 1936. These are just broken down into different groups and categories, but judging that they only have portraits for two of them, I'm going to stick with one of the ones that have the portraits. Usually that means they're more fleshed out. So we're just going to pick the first one, and I realized the other day that in the over a year since I've had this channel, I have yet to play a single country in Asia. Maybe once during the achievement speedrun, but never a full dedicated Asia video. So I thought it would be funny today to continue that tradition by playing a Japanese focused mod and playing as Germany. Yeah, so in this timeline, the Western powers beat up Japan and took a few of their cities as puppet states so they could meddle in the affairs of Japan, and one of those was Germany. So that's who we're going to play. So just like our timeline, we still lost World War I as Germany, but we were able to keep our colonies in Japan, and that's what we'll be playing today. And this has to be one of the nicest scenario setup screens I've seen on any mod, so big thumbs up for that. But let's look at the scenario. All right, I'm going to leave historical AI focus on because I don't know what else to do sometimes. If they don't tell me otherwise, I just leave it on by default. And let's get into it. All right, so here we are in Japan. Oh, wait a minute, that's not us. Oh, wait, that's us? Oh, no. So we only start off with one city, aka the Luxembourg challenge. So I guess it's too late to back out now. I guess we're just going to do the one city challenge. So this should be interesting. Let's take a quick look at the focus tree. It's a small focus tree, but for a mod that has several different factions to play through, I think these are kind of a one and done each time. And the replayability comes from playing as other factions. So I guess we'll just start going down our political focus tree. I haven't tried this yet. We'll just see what happens. And let's take a quick look at the map here. So yes, as you can tell, this is not a full world map, just like the British Civil War mod we played. It is more localized. So we have a bit of Korea, China, and Russia over there. And then of course, Japan, which has been karate chopped into several factions. Basically, long story short, through a series of revolts and foreign meddling and losing a bunch of wars, Japan looks like this now. And when we look at the tech tree, it is basically the vanilla tree because it takes place at the same timeline, but they have added a few more interesting options. And for being just one city, we start with more civilian factories than some starting nations. So at least we're doing all right. But they have given us an army with literally no equipment. Wow, these guys must have really seen some stuff if they're veterans and they have no equipment. And unsurprisingly, we start off with a bit of a manpower issue. All right, we have our first major decision of the game. We have to decide essentially which one of these three trees are we going to go down. I'm going to go with the Tannenberg Bund Thule movement, just because it gives us bonus against the French. They're here too. But that does mean in order for us to continue that focus, we need Ludendorff to die, because we need to venerate him as some sort of demigod. We can only see how truly great he is once he's already in the ground. That is our next focus. It's already taking a weird turn, but it will give us Christianity support. I guess religious conversion is a function of this mod. While we're waiting for Ludendorff to bite the dust, we can do our other tree. And while I'd like to bully the other states, this doesn't actually give me war goals on them and just cancels the non-aggression pact I have with these fellas, which I would like to bully them, but as you can see, I can't manually declare war on them, even when tension gets high enough. So instead, in order to not make this a giant pain in the ass for myself, I'm going to just be friends with them instead. I think we can get them on our side anyways. Man, look how much smoother that runs. I'm used to playing other mods that run a tad slower than this, so it feels good to play at actual 5 5 speed for once. I'll try my best to pronounce these names here, but I am not a native speaker, so we have just allied ourselves with the Shikoku state, or the people we share an island with, so now we can freely move around. Well, old man Ludendorff finally kicked the bucket. Don't worry, we'll pour one out soon for him. And since I have such few manpower, I think we need to rely on small, heavily armored divisions. I think that's my plan. And we'll even throw in some Chipotle flavored wind for fun. And we can now finally hire our first advisor. And looking through all of them, I actually think I want to try out this religion mechanic. So I'm going to get the priest. Although something tells me that this particular priest is not sanctioned by the Catholic Church. Technically, we are just a puppet of the German Empire. We do control the pace at which the events leading up to World War II take place. So we're going to start by denouncing the Treaty of Versailles. We need to get things kicked off over here. I, as your puppet, declare Anschluss. I can do that. I can tell you what to do because I control all the buttons. All right, there we go. We have triggered the Anschluss for Germany, and it pissed off most of Europe. Well, Mexico. Why is Mexico counted in here? Are they somewhere in here? They sneak in here? I don't see them anywhere. We'll keep an eye out for them. And since we're playing with historical on, we'll do the Molotov, I guess in this universe, Rosenberg Pact, just because I have no interest in invading this portion of Russia and fighting through all these mountains. That just sounds painful. All right, I tried to wait as close as I could to our real timeline, but I think now is the time to start World War II proper. We're gonna make Germany invade Poland. Well, there we go. World War II has finally started. Portugal joins the Allies, China seizes Manchu and Hong Kong. Bunch of stuff's happening. Like, I'm building a large tank army. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I'm pretty sure I can do a lot of damage with it. And since World War II is kicking off, I think we need to start making friends with our neighbors. So we'll invite our island buddies into the faction and see where we go from there. And they do have an interesting mechanic that I think the invasion of France would fail if I don't finish this blitzkrieg focus. But unfortunately for them, I'm paying attention and we're gonna get this done. The official invasion of France has begun, and we are now at war with the Allies, who own this bit of Osaka and Kobe over here. But I don't think the French are gonna be alive too long to enjoy that. Something tells me something's about to happen in the European theater that will make them not a factor. And there we go. French Kobe is now on our side, but we still can't get to the British just yet. And I accidentally agreed to help my allies with Kyushu, which is this island over here. So I'll help them get one or two things while we're waiting to figure out how we're going to get to the British. And it'll prove a good testing ground for our tanks. All right, our allies seem to be struggling with these little island chains over here. Let's see what our many tank divisions and planes can do. And there we go, made it across. And we're seeing if we can encourage Germany to invade Britain before they deal with the Soviets. I think that might make their life a little bit easier, and ours. And there we go, you did it, Germany. I knew you could do it, buddy. Don't know what about this Japan business lets you invade England so easily, but we'll take it. There we go. The Sengoku military junta had a war goal against Kyushu for forever, and they finally used it. Now that they're at war with them, we can invite them to our faction. Although they are at war with Kansai, but that's alright, that'll let us get to the British. And I'm sick of fighting over these tiny islands anyways. I grow bored of this. My tanks need room to roam. Alright, now let's see if we can start getting encirclements. The whole point of these. So, bad news, I immediately ran out of oil, and I just realized there's not going to be somebody to trade with very soon. So I went and converted most of my army back into infantry. Sad times. Here we go, got one encirclement off. I'm just going to have to do this about 100 times because I desperately lack manpower. There we go, starting to make a big sneaky breakthrough now. There we go, got Kobe surrounded. I got beef with you. There's a few more encircled near Osaka. Like I said, I'm just going to have to keep taking small bites because I don't have the manpower to just hurl at them. Just going for a leisurely drive in their backline. There, it's just Osaka left now. There we go, come on, get it. There we go. Now just to clean up the last bits of them. And there we go, Kansai down. And I'm going to try and steal as much land as I can because I am desperate for manpower. Well, I got what I could out of it, which was a decent sized chunk. I'm no longer just a city-state. Now that we've dealt with our enemies in the east, now it's time to deal with our enemies in the west. There we go, immediately got a bunch of them encircled. All right, we are not going to be able to get over that crossing because they have a crazy defense bonus, but I do think we can naval invade them instead. Oh, and it looks like our allies beat us to the landing. And there we go, we made our landing successfully. Let's spread out quickly so they don't turtle up down here. Here we go, making quick progress now. Oh, gotta hurry. My friends in Europe are dying. Don't know what that means for me, but we'll keep going. I see no reason to stop now. And there we go. Once we made it behind their lines, it was easy peasy. Easy peasy, Japanesey. I'm just gonna steal more of this stuff. I'm not gonna get everything, but I'll get some of it. And instead of struggling over the rest of this land, I'm going to steal some ships. My navy's kinda devastated at the moment. All right, that is Kyushu down. Let's go deal with the Dutch and the Americans over here now. And there we go. There is the Dutch down, and now I guess I can finally annex the British stuff. All right, that is the last of the allies kicked out of Japan. And that is also basically the end of the focus tree, and I'm getting reports that things are not going well for the Axis in Europe. So I think we're done expanding in Japan, especially since we've been out of manpower for quite some time. So I think I'm okay with leaving it in this state. You know, sometimes it's better to leave things in a worse state than when you found it. And that's what we did here today. So I'm okay with that. Sometimes you just gotta ruin someone else's day. But yes, that was the Second Sengoku mod. Thoughts on it? I enjoyed it. It has a lot of polish to it, and the focus tree was a lot of fun, but the AI actually seems fairly smart in this, and it felt fairly balanced. I didn't feel like I was steamrolling over them too much. I had to do a lot of encirclement, so I would highly recommend this mod. But I think that is where I will leave it off for tonight. So if there's any other mods you'd like to see, or other games you'd like to see me play, let me know down below. I read every single comment. As usual, thank you so much for watching, and sayonara!